Captains are highly trained professionals who carry the responsibility for the safety of their aircraft. However, to do their job effectively, they rely on other professionals with responsibilities in other areas. One of those areas is aircraft marshalling. Maneuvering an aircraft, be it a 747 or a light aircraft, in a confined space is not easy. A skilled marshaller is essential to this task. As a new marshaller, you will be learning how to direct us safely and accurately using a well-thought-out international code. I won't wish you luck, because luck has no place in our operation, but I will wish you well in achieving the highest level of skill and professionalism. Remember, on those days when the wind is lashing the rain into your face and the aircraft lights are shining in your eyes, the signals that you give to the captain can make the difference between the safe end of the flight or a disaster.
Many airports now have automated parking aids, which enable a pilot to park the aircraft without the assistance of a marshaller. It's when these aids are not available or not appropriate that the pilot will require the assistance of a marshaller who will be assigned to the aircraft and the appropriate bay. By day, luminous orange bats are used for signalling, and by night, illuminated wands. But it's important that the marshaller too can be both seen and kept safe. A high visibility coat is essential, as are safety shoes and especially ear defenders. Airport layouts vary and need to be appraised locally. However, line markings will be consistent. Yellow lines are for aircraft to follow until reaching the correct white stop mark in the aircraft bay. White lines are for other vehicles. Strictly no parking in hatched areas or clearways. And there must be no unauthorized crossing of the double white lines that delineate the aircraft taxiways. Heavy fines or even jail sentences can be imposed for abuse of this rule. Marshalling is a bit like driving a car. You can easily feel ham-fisted and awkward to start with, but with practice, the movements and signals become inbuilt, almost reflex reactions. The trainee marshaller's first task is to learn how to direct a vehicle other than an aircraft. On arrival at the bay, create a safe working environment. Make sure it's safe for the marshaller, safe for others, and of course, safe for the aircraft. Once you're at the bay, you take full responsibility for effectively policing the area. If you're gifted with natural charm and persuasion, this is where it'll come in useful. For others, learning how to police the apron diplomatically but effectively might require a whole new training package. To give the signal, "This bay," standing in the bay, raise your arms vertically above your head with bats facing forward. When you are sure you have the pilot's attention, give the instruction to move forward. Start by holding your arms down and slightly out to the side of the body, bats facing forward. Bring the bats forward and at the same time upwards and backwards to meet above your head. Then back down and repeat. Note the rocking movement of the wrist when moving the bats up and down. Continue signalling move forwards until the vehicle reaches the prescribed stop mark on the tarmac. To signal stop, repeatedly cross and uncross your arms above the head, bats forward still. You will quickly move up to the real thing and learn how to marshal a light aircraft. It's worth noting at this point that small aircraft are often parked two to a bay, following the shorter yellow lines to either side of the main center line. Rocking movement with the wrist which in fact serves to keep the fullest possible area of the bat within the pilot's vision. From a prop job or light aircraft, you'll move on to marshalling small jets. Okay so far, but what if the aircraft is not centered on the yellow line? This is where you need to know your port from your starboard. To turn towards port, the pilot must open up the starboard engine. To turn the aircraft to port, swing the left arm repeatedly up, back and down, bat facing forwards. Remember the rocking movement with the wrist. The right arm stays down at the side. Similarly, to turn to starboard, the pilot must open up the port engine. So, to turn the aircraft to starboard, keep the left arm down and swing the right arm repeatedly up, back and down again. Once the aircraft is nicely centered on the yellow line, bring it forwards to the correct line and stop. Engage brakes. Pilot acknowledges. Signals at night are identical to those used in the day, but are carried out using illuminated wands. To bring an aircraft in at night, check for a safe stand. This bay. Forwards. Slow down. Stop. Aircraft are large and getting larger, presenting proportionately greater challenges for pilots and marshallers. Apron space is tight and the parking lines for large aircraft are well forward. Large aircraft are also very high. To maintain critical eye contact with the pilot, the marshaller must stand well back and will almost certainly not be able to see the aircraft's wingtips. Extra vigilance is required. Hence, the operation requires 2 marshallers. Marshaller 1 will start in the normal way. This bay, move forwards, and so on. But when the wingtip is almost out of vision, he will hand over control to the marshaller number 2, who will be to the side of the aircraft. Remember, you'll often be walking backwards. That's part of the reason you make sure the stand is safe before an operation. When bringing in large aircraft, you may have to cross backwards over the perimeter road. Make sure it is all clear. If all clear when you start, traffic are obeying the speed limit, and you are clearly visible, there'll be no problem. Keep checking. Guard your own safety at all times, and guard others. The marshaller has a responsible job, respecting the welfare of hundreds of people. It's much more than waving bats and wands. It's about directing people wisely, clearly, safely, and effectively, whilst maintaining that all-important team spirit and sense of a job well done.